Good afternoon, Michael Lee. Welcome
Hello.
on VH Berries.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I am extremely grateful. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just kind of getting my life together for 2023. I feel like it's been a hectic time for everyone. So, yeah. How about yourself?
I am doing great because you are constantly evolving the sleep age scale on a metric of 1 to 14, depending on the ground you're dancing on. First of all, we have the wooden floor of the dance studio, the carpet in the bedroom, and the grainy surface of the garage.
Yeah. Thank you for that intro. I'm able to dance wherever. I started off in my dad's house. I actually had this granite floor, and I actually had to bring in some wooden like temporary flooring, and I just put it on top, and that became like my dance corner. So, yeah, it's been kind of changing and evolving a lot, but hopefully I can get like an official dance studio for myself and just keep that as my official one.
Absolutely, Michael Lee, because if I understood correctly, to be able to perform at your best shape, you need to avoid all the slippery by having, for example, something that you add as a carpet, in addition of having great shoes.
Yeah, it's important, but it's not as important as pushing through, because there's actually been carpet is actually harder to dance on when you have like shoes because of too much grip. So there's that factor too, because I used to take a lot of conventions and dance classes with and it always used to be at like these hotels with carpets, and it always used to be so hard for me. So actually, the slipperier the floor, actually for me personally, is better, which is really funny. So yeah.
Absolutely, Michael Lee, and I would also guess that both hero and villain are both more enjoying the carpet than the
Oh,
garage.
definitely, definitely.
I would love to discuss about your relationship with dance and especially movement. What is your definition of movement?
Movement is just an expression of yourself. I feel that with social media and with dancing specifically, you're able to express yourselves that words can't explain. I think that it's such a beautiful language that breaks all the barriers of languages. Everyone, regardless of your English, or you speak Spanish or Portuguese or Chinese, whatever the case may be, we can all connect through dance and through movement. And I think that's amazing, because you can tell so many stories just through your body alone.
We can tell a lot of stories only with our bodies alone. And you just mentioned one of your favorite parts, which is that you can express yourself without saying any words. Obviously, there is sometimes the lyrics of the song, but there is also sometimes no words. But what are your others' favorite parts of that particular form of art?
I think it's being able to see how different everyone is. Your movement is so different from another person that takes on dancing, and I think that it shows how much of a background that you have, or what experiences you've had in the past. So I think it's so cool to see people express in their own ways, and just kind of add to the craft. So yeah.
They might have a million different way to express ourselves with, of course, everyone with a different style, but in definitive, Michael Lee, you're called the CEO of public performances. Can you explain what it means for you?
Yeah. Yeah, so I got big off of doing this thing, which was dancing in public. I feel like a lot of people know me for dancing on an escalator specifically, but it was just something that I loved kind of doing because it was different at the time, and it was kind of pushing me out of my boundaries of what I typically did, and it was just a fun time. I don't do it. I don't think I actually do it at all now because I'm now evolving into my next stage of what I want to do for content and how I want to be known as a dancer. So, yeah, I was the one that kind of kickstarted the whole escalator dancing or elevator dancing or whatever kind of dancing you guys saw in public.
Absolutely. And Michael Lee, to make a little recap of this escalator concept, this is basically the only way to film it is to go downstairs, because then we can have the global view, and it's basically to do some synchronized dance, whether alone but also with your friends and family. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel that when I used to do those dances, it was a lot of just the perfect mix of creativity, of dancing and performing and not having being scared, because a lot of people are scared to do anything in public. So the fact that I was performing in front of everyone and getting the reactions and maybe if one time scaring them or just seeing how they reacted to my little brother dancing with me, I think those were really cool moments to kind of share with people, and I think that's why people gravitated towards it so much.
People were gravitating around it so much, and you're literally taking this original dance concept to another dimension, or what I can call from a floor to another one, because I am referring to, for example, the floor number 1 to the floor number 0, the main floor of the commercial mall.
Yeah, it was a fun little thing that we tried out, and I appreciate the time that those escalators and those Walmart visits I've had in the middle of the night just to dance it was very interesting. It was a fun time for me.
And Michael Lee, one very inspiring point of your form of expression as a dancer and choreographer is your confidence, not only to dance in public, but also without any mirrors, because I found that this is one of the key elements of every, for example, beginners, to make sure that we are making the right movement. And I also saw that you have two very large ones in the garage instead of having, for example, the cars.
Yeah, no, exactly. I've always I started off as a studio dancer, so kind of paying attention to details and knowing what looks good and what doesn't look good was always important. So mirrors for me is a definite must. So yeah.
It is a definite must to see, for example, your reflection of yourself, like the reflection of the sky on the Lake Mangonia in West Palm Beach.
Yes, West Palm Beach is where it all started.
Absolutely. I would love to discuss about those early days, and it all started, as you just mentioned, in that part of South Florida. Can you tell us a little bit more about those beginnings and how it got all started?
Yeah, I was born and raised in West Palm Beach, Florida. My family they actually came from Vietnam, so I'm the first generation of my family. to come here. So shout out to my great grandparents, and shout out to my mom and dad that came out here to just have a better life and opportunity for us. But yeah, I was born in West Palm, and I think by like the age of 5 or 6, I took my first dance class with one of my uncles, and I stopped that after maybe like a year, tested out different things, and from there I really came back into the picture of dancing by 2012. Took a dance at a dance studio, and I fell in love with it again. And from that moment on, I took a dance class every week. I think it was like 2 or 3 times a week. And then by the time I was 15, which was 2015, that's when I started social media, becoming more of a professional dancer, getting hired to do music videos. I started posting my own choreographies on social media, and I actually became one of the first dancers to really post on like Musically, Instagram, and YouTube. So it was a really cool time for me. And from there, I just continued on. And then 2019, that's when TikTok really took off. Musically became TikTok, and I was again one of the first ones that were kind of on that app, and it blew up for me like astronomically. Like I think I gained probably 10 million followers in like 2 or 3 months. And from there, it was just it was a wild ride and a wild experience just to see everything come into what I was expecting when I first started.
Absolutely, Michael Lee. It all started, as you just mentioned, in the year 2012. You were a studio dancer, so I am referring to my very first sentences, which was about the wooden floor that you knew so well. And this is very interesting because in that year, we also saw the beginning of the social media, because internet, I would say, changed everything in the music space, but also for all the people that are creating based on that music. Can you tell us a little bit more about this transformation and how the things took on another level?
Yeah, social media, I mean, it's changed more than just music. I think it's changed the entire world. I mean, we literally live on our phones now. I think that we're connected to technology so much, and yeah, like it allowed people to have an opportunity for themselves. Because before social media, it's like you have to get with a label to make music. You have to audition for stuff to get in movies or to actually be known for anything. And now social media gave the opportunity for anyone to get big for whatever they want to do. And I think that was the biggest thing that caught my eye, because I wanted to always be an entrepreneur, a business owner, but I wanted to figure out how to tie in dancing with it, my passions and all of that stuff. So when I saw social media as an opportunity, even when people doubted it, I really believed in it, and I kind of stuck with it.
And Michael Lee, with social media also comes this idea and very strong concept of sharing, because I am referring to the fact of, for example, sharing your dance moves and choreography, which is very unique to the internet. Because then you have maybe more creative ideas for new choreography and new music, instead of, for example, decades ago, having to have some books or maybe some DVDs. I believe that it opens some doors.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I think that being able to actually be a part of the generation that completely changed because of social media, and seeing the growth from the internet from phase one all the way to moving to social media to now even Web3 is really wild. And I think that it's a really special time to be alive.
It is a very special time to be alive. And Michael Lee, you just mentioned Web3, because in addition of being the CEO of public performances. You are actually the co-founder of Joystick, which is a new company. What is Joystick?
Yeah, Joystick is opportunity. I see Joystick as the next gaming like ecosystem or community that connects gamers to companies to give them opportunities, to also give anyone that has an interest for technology or gaming to show them how to actually succeed in this new coming internet wave. And I think that Web3 and the way that you're able to actually make games off of, or you're actually able to make money off of playing video games, I think is insane to me. So I'm kind of just riding the wave and kind of seeing where this all takes us, and I want to be the first one to kind of give an opportunity and tell people, like, yo, this is a new thing. So that's what Web3 is all about for me.
Riding the wave, weave on board. A hero, villain, but also Robin, Paul, and I assume that maybe that later in that journey you will make Jonathan, Daniel, and
Definitely.
Tiffany
Oh yeah,
Tina
oh
come
100%.
in.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to see again where this takes us, because now we're at a point where someone that loves to video game and play games for their life, they can do that. And I think that with Web3 and gaming Web3 specifically, I think that's going to be even a bigger possibility. So yeah, very excited for that.
You're telling me that you're very excited for the future with Joystick, your company. What are your goals in the upcoming future and the milestone that you would like to achieve?
My goal is to make tools and to make things easier for creators to really shine out and stand out. And then the other goal is to hopefully host and make one of the largest esport competitions for gamers. I think those things would be so dope to be able to make a massive entertainment event for people to kind of experience and be a part of, and at the same time change someone's life by giving them, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars because of this tournament. So those two things are really, really big passions for me.
Those are two very big passion, Michael Lee, and I can already see a connection in some way between video games and dance, because as you may know, there are some video games related to dance in which you have a joystick in your hand and in which you are actually dancing.
I mean, yeah, we even got games like Just Dance. Hopefully they sponsor me one day. I think that'd be so perfect. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities to go around. But I think that entertainment in general, the things that I love to do, you should be able to monetize off of anything. And I think that being able to give an opportunity to people to do this and see what can come from it is something I'm striving for the long term.
It makes a lot of sense, Michael Lee, and I also really enjoy this particular idea of creating events and gathering a community, because this is mainly the purpose of video games.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's all I can say.
I'm excited too. Michael Lee, I am wishing you the best for Joystick. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching.